G'day guys, welcome back to another video. As you can probably tell, we're inside my garage, which can only mean one thing. It's new gear day. So just received these in the mail. It's two new Penn Authority spinning reels. These just came out this year, and I've got myself a 6500, a 3500, and today we're going to be comparing the 6500 model with the Penn Slammer IV 6500. So without further ado, let's get these boxes open and find out what's inside. Start with the 3500. Oh, look at that. That is a very sexy reel box. So let's open her up and see what's inside. Alrighty, off the bat, we have got ourselves a very nice reel cover. It says Authority on the back there. Very cool. And our washers, as usual, don't lose those. And it's encased in foam. Sorry, I should be showing you guys. This is what we've got inside. The reel itself, and it's encased nicely in foam. So that is not going to be getting damaged in shipping, that's for sure. Reel and the handle come separately, which makes sense for shipping. And pretty simple. All we got to do, screw this handle in and we'll be in business. Now off the bat, I can tell you, it feels very nice, very smooth, like the feeling of the metal itself, which is quite interesting. I wouldn't usually say something like that, but the feeling of this metal feels very good in the hands. And yeah, it's got the usual bearings in the handle. It feels nice and smooth. So yeah, that is the 3500. I'm going to set that to one side and we'll get stuck into our 6500. Before I do, how nice is this box? Seriously, you wouldn't want to throw this out. Alrighty, get the trusty craft knife back out and let's open this baby up. Got to be careful, don't want to scratch the beautiful reel box inside. Same deal, just bigger. Pull up here out. Get rid of that. And here we go. Penn Authority 6500 reel. Check that out. That's a very nice box. Big box, that's for sure. And let's open her up, if I can. There we go. We're in. Like most, well, I think all Penn reels, all the specifications written in different languages around the outside of the boxes, which is pretty handy because if you ever forget and you have the box here, you can quickly check it. So like the 3500, this one's got a very nice reel pouch in it. It's going to be great for those of you who like to travel to go fishing. You know, those luggage handlers don't tend to be too careful with people's belongings, so nice to know that you can have your reel safe and sound in that reel bag. Now same deal, we've got the washers here. Just going to set those aside. For recyclable foam protection layer, and here we go, here's the goods. One other thing I haven't actually mentioned is that they come with a little strap to go around the line, or a little line cover, which is really handy for when you're just storing your reel, or you've taken it down after a fishing mission, your leader's come off and you've just got the braid there. Nice to keep it all tied up with one of those. The same deal, the reel and the handle are separate, and then the little EVA knob as well. comes in the box separately. Okay, so now we've got these reels out of the box. Let's start breaking them down and talking about the specifications. So today we're just going to be focusing on the 6500 reels. This is going to be a direct comparison between the Authority and the Slammer. So a lot of you might be asking yourself, why would I go from a Slammer up to the Authority? So what we're going to do is going to first go through all the things that are the same on these two reels, and then talk about what sets the new Authority apart from the Slammer. These are, undoubtedly both exceptional reels, but it goes without saying that this new one takes the cake, that's for sure. Alright, so let's get stuck into it. What's the same about these reels? Well, firstly, the spool size is the same. So both of these reels can hold 305 meters or 335 yards of 50-pound braid. Next up is the handle. So the handle can be, well, not the handles themselves, but the fact that these handles can be reversed. So you can unscrew the handle and take this little cap off, and you can have the handle on either side of the reel. It's quite handy if you go back and forth between using a left hand and right handed reel. Next is the DuraDrag. So all the top of the line Penn reels come with DuraDrag, which is a carbon drag washer and is silky smooth. So that's no different. We've got DuraDrag on the Slammer and DuraDrag on the Authority. So going with that DuraDrag comes that massive top end drag that Penn reels are known for. So both of these reels have got a whopping 40 pounds or 18.1 kilograms of top end drag, which is just a stupid amount, but when you're going up against big kingfish or big groper or bass, whatever you're targeting on these reels, you're never going to have to worry about having enough drag to stop them in their tracks. So now let's move on and start talking about what's different between these reels, because I'm sure that's why you guys here and that's what you really want to know. So first, the most obvious one is the appearance. These two reels both look exceptionally good. However, slightly different appearance. We've obviously got the black on gold with the Slammer IV and the gunmetal grey on gold for the Authority. I'll let you make up your mind which you think looks better. Personally, I have no preference between the two. I think they both look bloody good. So next is the bearings in these reels. So the Slammer IV has 9 bearings, but the Authority, they've bumped it up. Now there's 13 bearings, stainless steel bearings in these reels. Now that is going to make a massive difference to the performance and smoothness of the reel. When you're fighting big fish, those extra bearings will just make that experience much, much smoother. Next is the anti-reverse. So both of these reels have instant anti-reverse. However, with the Authority, there's now an instant anti-reverse and a backup system in there. I don't actually know the technical specifications and the details of how that backup system works, but it's just that last sort of barrier that stops you from having that instant anti-reverse fail, your handle spinning backwards and losing that fish. So nice to know that in the Authority you're going to have that reassurance that you not only have instant anti-reverse, you've got a backup in there which is going to stop it from failing. The next difference is the gear ratio. So in the Slammer IV there's a 5.6 to 1 gear ratio, and in the Authority they've lowered it slightly, it's 5.2 to 1. I'm not sure exactly why Penn has lowered that, perhaps it was customer feedback, but basically what the difference is the higher the gear ratio, the more turns of the spool with every turn of the handle. So that's what that 5.6 to 1 means. Every one turn of the handle means there's 5.6 rotations of the spool there. So on the Authority it's lower, it's 5.2 to 1, which basically means less line coming onto your reel with each turn. However, with a higher gear ratio, there is more torque required to turn the handle, but with a lower gear ratio, there's less. So if you're up against a big fish, that lower gear ratio is just going to mean less torque, less power from you required to turn that handle. Another minute difference is the weight. So on the Slammer IV, it's actually lighter than the Authority, which is probably because the Authority's got the new bearings and it's made from a different material. But on the Slammer IV, it's a 687 gram reel, whereas on the Authority, it's a 720 gram reel. Like I said, very minor difference, only about 30 grams there So not a game changer, but for those of you who are super weight conscious, you might be a rock fisher carrying lots of gear to your spot, or kayak fisher with limited carrying capacity on your kayak, or you just like lighter reels. That's actually an area where the Slammer 4 comes through. Now the big one, which I just mentioned before, is the material that these reels are made of. So both the Slammer 4 and the Authority have an aluminium body and spool, but internally the Slammer 4 has got brass pinion and main gear, whereas the Authority has got a stainless steel pinion and main gear. Now that's going to make a massive difference to the performance and the smoothness of the reel, particularly when it's under load. The CNC machine cut, which means, well, both gearings are CNC machine cut. However, with stainless steel, supposedly with stainless steel, it's meant to be that much smoother. The next big difference is the sealing. So the Slammers have always been well known for being super water resistant. So the Slammer 4 here is an IPX6 rated reel, which means water's going to have a very hard time getting inside the reel and corroding your gearing. However, on the Authority, the Penn have bumped it up yet again, and this reel is rated at IPX8. I've heard rumours that means you can hold the reel underwater for 30 minutes and it won't take on any water inside it. Whether or not that's true, I'm not sure. However, all I know is IPX8 is a higher rating than IPX6, and IPX6 was already bloody good, so chances of you getting salt water inside this reel seem very, very slim. Those of you who rock fish, kayak fish, reels are constantly getting splashed with waves. That's going to make a world of difference in my opinion. And the next difference I'll talk about is the oscillation of the reels. So what I'm talking about when I'm talking about oscillation is with each turn of the handle, see the spool goes up and down. On the Slammer 4, it has pretty standard oscillation rate. However, when you look at the Authority, if you turn the handle at that same speed, it moves up and down on the reel body much slower than the Slammer 4 spool does. Now basically what that means is every time you turn that handle and retrieve line, the line is going to be sitting much closer together when it sits on that spool. Now that's important for two reasons. Firstly, when you're casting your line, if it's sitting much closer together, you're going to be able to cast further. And secondly, when you're fighting a fish, putting heaps of drag on it and it's pulling off line, if those lines are sitting close together, there's less chance that there's going to be friction, or it's going to cut into the braid when it's being pulled off the spool. So I think that's another big difference for this Authority reel. So last and not least is the price point. Now that's a biggie for these two. The Penn Slammer, I've just checked it online and it currently retails at 469 New Zealand dollars, and the Penn Authority is currently retailing at 819 New Zealand dollars, so a $350 price difference. So it's quite a jump going from the Slammer 4 up to the Authority. At the end of the day, that price difference is really going to be dependent on the person looking to use the reel and what their needs are. If you are after something hearty, which is going to do the job, but might not necessarily be the smoothest on the market, well then the Slammer is going to be perfect for you. But if you're going to absolutely thrash your reels, but you want something high performing that's going to work day in, day out, I'd say that extra $350, which gets you all that extra sealing, all those extra bearings, stainless steel gearing, stainless steel pinion, whole lot of extra features, is probably going to be justified. Like I said, it's going to depend on the individual, but both of these reels are excellent reels. Both have great water resistance ratings, so they both make great reels for fishing off the rocks or fishing off kayaks. And yeah, I am now looking forward to getting this reel spooled up, and same with the 3500, and putting these reels to the test. And I'll keep you guys updated in my videos whether or not I think there is a difference in the gearing, and if that stainless steel gearing does speak for itself, which I'm sure it will. And yeah, looking forward to putting them to the test, catching some big fish on them. And yeah, I'll keep you guys updated with my thoughts on the reels as I use them. So yeah, thanks for watching this video, and I hope you found something helpful in this video. If you have any further questions about either of these reels, feel free to drop a comment and I'll give you my best response. Other than that, thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers!